There are times in life we feel like we're going in circles. We're doing the right thing, but not making much progress. We don't see anything changing. It's easy to lose our passion and get discouraged. But one test we all have to pass is being faithful when nothing new is happening. We're just going to work, raising children, coming home, doing the same thing again. It's easy to be our best when we're getting good breaks. Things are falling into place. That doesn't take much faith. But what about when you're working hard but not getting the credit? You're being your best, but your marriage isn't improving. When you're faithful in the routine, something is happening that you can't see. Your character is being developed. The routineness of life is not exciting, but it is necessary. You won't become all you were created to be without being your best when it's mundane. Being excellent, having a good attitude when it's just another ordinary day. Nothing exciting is happening. You're just singing in the choir another Sunday, going to work with a smile another week, doing the right thing with a good attitude another month. You could see it as boring. When is this going to change? But you understand this principle, you're being prepared. When you're faithful in average days, then you will see exceptional days. But sometimes we're frustrated because we know we have more in us, but we're not seeing it happen. We don't understand why we're not making progress. Be faithful in the routine. What's in your future is going to be more rewarding, more exciting than anything you've imagined. Now, I'm challenging you to stay faithful in the routine.
As Michelangelo said, if people knew how hard I worked to achieve my mastery, it wouldn't seem so wonderful after all. And that's the thing about getting great. That's the thing about being an artist of such caliber that you're remembered for hundreds of years after your death. It is back-breaking work. It is a blinding amount of effort. It isn't about natural talent. That myth that some people are born with something that we celebrate so much is just that, a myth. You're born a lump of flesh. You can't hold your own head up. You may have predispositions, but that is a long way from actually crafting your ability until the point where it looks like magic. And that's the beauty of artistry, isn't it? That it's so unbelievable that you're more willing to believe that it was God-given, that they were anointed with it, than that they just worked their ass off. But the truth is, every one of the greats, no matter how much natural talent they were born with, they're remembered because they worked. They are remembered because they did so much work. Because in that work is hardship. In that work is difficulty. In that work is unbearable adversity. But it's in that adversity that the magic happens. And as Victor Hugo said, adversity makes men, prosperity makes monsters. So I know right now you wish you'd been born with some talent. You wish that all those dreams that you had, they were yours for the taking, that you didn't have to put blood, sweat, and tears into it, that somebody would hand you at least something in the beginning, that they would give you some start, some spark. That's where the monster's created. If you really want to get hard, if you really want to get tough, if you want to get great, if you want to be unfucking touchable because no one can bend or break your vision of yourself, then you have to suffer. That's the way of the world. And as Florence Nightingale said, I attribute my success to this: I never gave or took any excuse. And that's the secret. At the end of the day, if you know what you want, it's only a question of whether you're willing to pay the price to get there. So ask yourself, are you willing to pay the price?
want to talk to you today about staying committed. We all have opportunities to give up on what we're believing for, walk away from an uncomfortable situation, slack off, not be our best. But if you're going to reach your highest potential, you have to stay committed. You can't be moved by what's not working out, give up on a child because he's not doing what he should, slack off at work because you're not being treated right. You have to have a made-up mind that you are in it for the long haul. It may be difficult. You have a good reason to walk away. Don't take the easy way out. Stay committed to your marriage. Stay committed to raising those children. Stay committed to your friends. They may make mistakes. Give them some grace. Don't be a fair-weathered friend. Be committed in the good times and the tough times. Stay committed to your job. Be a loyal person, somebody they can count on day in and day out. You're not always going to feel like it. There will be good days and tough days. Times when it's exciting, times when you feel like giving up. That's when you have to dig your heels in and say, I'm going to do the right thing when it's hard. I'm committed to this marriage. I'm going to love you even though you don't deserve it. I'm committed to this job. I'm going to be my best even though my supervisor isn't treating me right. I'm committed to my dreams. But too many people are wishy-washy. They'll love you as long as you perform perfectly. If not, they're out of there. They'll be their best if you keep them encouraged, keep them propped up. They'll pursue a dream as long as they're getting good breaks. Their commitment is based on things going their way. But when it's difficult, when it's taking longer than they thought, they get discouraged, start to slack off. Well, they don't pay me enough. I'm undervalued. If they would pay me more, I would do more. But if you don't pass the test of being your best where you are, showing up on time with a good attitude, doing more than you have to. Well, Joel, it's difficult to stay committed to my job, committed to my marriage, committed to this dream. Nothing's going my way. If it was easy, everyone would do it. I've heard it said, on the road to your destiny, halfway through, every person will be tempted to give up. Some turn around and go back. The others stay committed and keep moving forward. What's interesting is both people travel the same distance. One goes halfway back to where they started. The other goes halfway ahead and reach their goal. Committed people outlast the difficulty. Committed people stick with a relationship even though they have a right to walk away. Committed people go the extra mile and do more than they have to. 1960, a young man opened a pizza place in Michigan. He was an orphan that had been raised in a Catholic orphanage. He borrowed $900 and started this small pizza place. He had all kinds of bad breaks. A business partner got into his account and stole several $1,000s, his life savings. 1968, a fire burned his building down. The insurance company paid him a penny on the dollar. He could have gotten discouraged, thought this is not meant to be. This young man stayed committed to the dream. He had an idea. Instead of people having to come get their pizza, he decided to take the pizza to the people. He came up with the first delivery service. He called it Domino's. He started with one restaurant, $900. Today, there are over 6,000 Domino's. A few years ago, Tom Monaghan sold his company for $1 billion. He's incredibly generous. He helps underprivileged children around the world. Stay committed. Keep doing the right thing. You can't see it, but up in front of you is a double portion. Stay committed to your dreams. Stay committed.
I like what Ambrose Redmoon said, that courage is not the absence of fear, Courage is the judgment that what you want is more important than your fear. I used to be intimidated by people because they had more education, because they had more money, because they had credentials, because they had contacts, because they had four-color brochures, because they had books, and I didn't have all these things, because they had infomercials and they had television exposure, and I didn't have all those things. But the judgment that providing for my family was more important than my feeling inferior, more important than my fears. The judgment that I have to control my future. The judgment that I want to be able to take care of my mother, that when my mother becomes ill, I want to be in a position to do more and just pray for her. Oh no, whatever she needs medically, I will be able to write the check. The judgment that my children would have a choice to go to the college of their choice to give them a competitive edge in the future. The judgment that, oh no, one day I'm going to be able to have vacations. I will go to Paris. I'll go to Tahiti. I will go to Jamaica. I will go to Hawaii. The judgment, I have more time for myself. The judgment that I'm going to secure my grandchildren's future and my great-grandchildren. The judgment of those things that make life worth living was more important than my fear. What is it that will make it worth it for you to face the rejections? What is it that will make it worth it for you to brainstorm and not be intimidated and say, I can do this? What is it that will make it worth it for you to raise the bar on yourself and say, I got some more stuff in me. Oh, I haven't even gotten my biggest deal yet. What is it that will make it worth it for you to go back to a customer who slammed a door in your face? What is it that will make it worth it for you to know your vitamin, that you become empowered by it? What is it that will make it for you when you want to give up? You can't buy a sale, and things are working against you, and you get close to making your numbers, and then they double your quota. What is it? You've got a sales manager breathing down your neck, don't give you the tools, don't give you the resources that you need. You're working in a toxic environment, and rather than working together, they're working against you. What is it that will make it worth it for you to get out of the car when you want to keep driving past the office because of the stress? What is it that gives you the strength and the power? I got a saying on one of my tapes, and life knocks you down, try and land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. What is it that will help you get back up again?